The reading test and the math test are both a test of your ability to read English. And this is true very much so, because you have to read and interpret the question in math just as much as you do in the reading section or the writing section. You have to be able to read it. So pay real close attention to modifications or limitations that they put on the question. So if they use a superlative like what is the greatest or the most or the least, pay attention to that. Circle those words. Understand what's going on. You don't want to select just a large number when they ask for the greatest number. You don't want to select a small number when they ask you for the smallest number. You want to keep that in mind. You want to make sure you look for words like except. All of the following are answers to this question except. So you want to make sure you circle those words or underline those words or highlight them in some way to make sure that you understand what's going on. The most important thing after reading a question is to understand what it's asking of you. That's half the battle. Half the battle is just understanding what the question is asking of you. Then you can go about strategically figuring out, okay, where do I find my solution? How do I find my solution? But you can't do any of that unless you know what the question is asking you. If you can't figure out what the question is asking you, you're probably going to fall for the trap answer. So write down exactly what the question is asking. If they ask you, hey, what is the cost of 5 apples? Unless you're sure that you're going to be able to keep track of it, write down cost of 5 apples. You need to be able to find C for cost of 5 apples, right? So you want to make sure you keep that kind of stuff in mind. You want to read every problem choice before you answer the question. A lot of questions will not require you to do a full solution. A lot of times the questions will just ask you, hey, how do you set up this equation? Or what does this term mean in this particular equation? So you don't necessarily have to solve every single question. This is especially true on the non-calculator portion. They may just ask you to set up the equation and just make sure you're setting up the equation. So look at the answer choices. Look at every answer choice before you select the best answer. Even on the reading section, sometimes you'll come across 2 different answer choices that are very close, but one of them is going to be not the best answer. An answer can be true, but still wrong. So you want to make sure you keep that kind of stuff in mind. You want to read the problem very carefully, understand exactly what it's asking you, and then go about answering the question.